So, I think I'm dealing with something a lot of people are dealing with, and it's sleep. It's coronavirus related. It's a little bit of a lot, but I have not been sleeping well for a few weeks, and maybe one of these talk about it moments will help. So, I went to get my mic. The audio might be a little better than it just was. Um, yeah, so as I was saying, I have not been sleeping well, and it's been not like a little shift over a period of time, but it's been like I'm sleeping a little bit and then not at all, or I'm sleeping long periods of time and then I'm up for short periods of time, and it's unpredictable. I'm having a lot of nightmares, and I've been carrying a lot of stress, and a lot of my worry more recently has been focused on my husband. And Caleb is a lot of things to me, obviously, but um, he works in a field where he deals with people who are in need, and that's one of the many reasons that I adore and love him. But he has a calling to serve the community, and part of that, I think, is just the manner in which he was raised, but also just a personal interest of his own journey of being understood, which is like a conversation for another day. But that this calling of his and the appeal to show up for people in need or people who are disadvantaged is something that has put him in a situation that opened him up to some um, health issues that has now put him in the crux of the matter of being a vulnerable person in the midst of a respiratory based virus that is the pandemic that we're all experiencing. And I worry about it, and because it's obviously nothing you can see, and I don't worry about it in that he's not taking the proper precautions or he's not being mindful or being responsible. I worry about it in the way that other people aren't taking this seriously. They're not being responsible, and some of that gets traced to the politicization of what this pandemic has become, and that a lot of my in-laws are these Trumpers that make excuses, and they are, at the heart of who they are well-intentioned people doing the best with the information that they have, and the information that they have also gravitates around information that makes them comfortable. Oh, and I will say that they are all on a spectrum of what that very narrow description of things are, and I don't by any means mean to disparage them, but there's this concern about there are other people beyond them that, I might get in the weeds a little bit. I worry about who's going to be the person that puts my husband in danger, and a lot of my nightmares more recently have been around both coronavirus actually related things and around some of this like hypothetical fiction things that Caleb and I have talked about. We've talked about like the zombie apocalypse and what would we do together and how would we navigate and, fight till the end to make sure that the other one was safe, or what would you do? And I always come down to two situations where it would be, in this hero-esque type of moment of one of us is fighting the horde and the other one has the opportunity to escape. And I know that the bravery and the, stand-upness of Caleb would tell me to run to safety. And I think that our different points of view would even present even in that moment, because I would insist that he be the person to leave and to seek safety. And I've gone over this hypothetical type of situation many times, and of the different kinds of zombies, the kind that run fast or it's a slow burn, or the ones that can stand water and the ones that can't. And it's always zombie based, right? But I think my stubbornness would ultimately win, and I wouldn't back down, and my stubbornness would make him have to seek safety. It would drive him towards it, and I think that's how that hypothetically would play out. However, as this weird zombie apocalypse is now in a pathogenic, or I sort of keep referring to as a immunological apocalypse, and which is dramatic sounding. And it's different, but there is no situation where I can stand up to the horde and tell him to seek safety. There is no sense of safety. It's you're at the mercy of the strangers around you, and especially in the larger spectrum of what our culture is, I need something now. It's very, we have a very selfish-minded, broad culture here in the United States, and something that's blinded by entitlement, privilege, even the American dream of you can have this if you do this. It's a lot of self-serving, and then especially with how technology has advanced, we've added this layer of instant gratification that we can't be inconvenienced for too much for too long, which probably is another larger conversation. But I worry about what I would do in a situation where I actually might need a minute. Alright. Okay, so maybe this isn't a personal growth channel anymore. It's just a middle-aged gay man crying channel. I actually even forget where I left off, but when you love someone so much and you just want them to be safe, and the world just feels very much like a unsafe place, and people don't listen, and the numbers keep going up, and I think a lot of people have that mind frame. I forget the phrase for it, but it's a mind frame that I remember being taught at some point, that some equality that goes along with adolescence here in the States is that you think you are immune to danger, and things only happen to people in movies or other people. That doesn't affect me. And this just affects everyone. And my husband's going to not continue to work in the capacity that he can, and I know that I don't have any control about that, and I know that he needs that type of stability, obviously, and so, so for all the people who hate astrology talk, just skip ahead. But my husband's a Sagittarius, and I love a Sagittarius. Obviously, I married one, but all of the important people in my life have been Sagittariuses, and there are qualities that drive me nuts about them, and there are things that I'm in awe of because I get to learn so much. And one of the things that I learned early on about my husband is that he's attracted to chaos, and he needs a certain level of drama to exist in one or a few of the wheelhouses. And whether that's intentional or not, it's not intentional in that he's provoking it. It's that he sort of finds it surrounding him and he engages with it. And it's one of those things that I've come to notice where when things in your life aren't equally balanced, those fires that pop up happen when you neglect other things and there's no boundaries and blah blah blah. But he's a Sagittarius, he doesn't mind the fire, it doesn't burn him, and he doesn't he can have the fires existing around him, but he can still take his shot as an archer and hit a bullseye. And that's, I think, what I love most about a Sagittarius, is that they're able to do that. I, as we all know, don't do well with chaos. I don't like fires. I don't like things that feel unbalanced or disorganized, because it almost, it handicaps me in a capacity of putting me subpar to take consistent strides forward. And so with that being said, when I think about work and what might expose, or who might expose him, or what situation might present, or what area of chaos or drama might present that he feels that he can rationally handle for the moment and minimize his, I don't know, this is a long way around just saying that I love my husband so much, and I wish we all had a little bit more empathy and compassion in our culture, where we're not worrying about our loved ones based on what our loved ones are going to do, but we're based on the actions and irresponsibilities of the strangers we have yet to connect with, and how they will endanger us unexpectedly. And that's what has been like weighing on me, especially in the last couple of months. And I think some of that comes with every year there's this pressure on going to the in-laws for one of the holidays, which I like the idea of. I think there's this pressure to always adjust to their family traditions in a pull away from us creating and maintaining our own. And I don't know if that's what started it, thinking about this prior to Thanksgiving and the desperate pleas for everyone to not go and collect during the holidays, and who actually ended up doing that, and who has now returned to the smaller social social circles that we're all navigating in. And the mystique factor in life has been raised, and our debuffing has been decreased, and the immunological apocalypse is here, and there's no level of stubbornness I can maintain that will make sure my husband is able to run back to safety. And that makes me feel powerless, both in a hypothetical way and in a realistic way. I'm sure there are many people that are feeling the same thing, and let me know how you guys are dealing with it, because I am not handling it well right now. And I would love to see how people are getting around it. So I'm gonna sip my tea, and after laying down for an hour, I'm practicing better sleep hygiene by not becoming anxious while I'm laying down. And I'm just gonna get up, and I'm gonna do something for 30 minutes or until I feel tired, and then I'm gonna go back to bed, and hopefully I will transition out of this. Thanks for listening, and remember to keep growing from where you are, and I will share more with you soon. Juice.